Right. So the 162nd then. We do have a lot that I can do with that. Now if I go ahead and take a look again where the Panzers will go. So you can see that they do head down this way, which is intriguing. So I think I need to go ahead and clear that out of the way. So I do have a 6th Corps over here. Whereabouts is the 6th Corps? Oh, 6th Corps already in here then. Okay. So, what I'm going to do then is going to take the 17 over here. If I was saying that, I could potentially attack these units over here. Yeah, what we're going to do then is we're going to bring the 17th over here. So I could move 1 hex forward. And then what I'm going to do then, so we have 2, 4 here. It's not tremendously weak or anything like that. But I think with 16, we should be able to manage that. They're pretty good division. They should be able to manage it pretty easily. So I'm going to go ahead and do a hasty. 5.82 to 1. There we go. Forces them to retreat, which is what I want. Right, so 11-11 there. We'll move forward. Still in range of the core headquarters there. The artillery brigade is no problemo. We'll go for the hasty attack there of the artillery brigade. Yeah, okay, so that forces it to rout. It does also push back the 11th Army there, which is good news. Which is going to cause some problems over here. If you can push back the core headquarters, that's really good. If you can push back core headquarters and army headquarters, that's even better. Causes some problems. Of course, the distance that the armies can command from is, I think it's about the same. So it does cause problems. Okay. Right, so we've done that. So, 6 there, 6 there. Yeah, it would be nice to capture as much as possible, to be honest. So, I can move there, 6. Right, we'll move forward then. So we do encounter the 5th Tank Division over here. The 5th Tank Division is going to be a bit of a problem. They could maybe manage it with a plan, perhaps. It may be worthwhile to bring up a 6... Maybe. Well, what we can do here then is I can move up the core headquarters. Like so. I could potentially give them some support. Panzer Jaegers would, I'd imagine, help out considerably. Pioneers also would be quite good. But do I want to give them Panzer Jaegers? Nah, not particularly. I'd rather have like Panzer Jaegers like retained at the core level for the most part. The reason, or even have them assigned out to like tanks, to the Panzers. The way we're going to try to conduct the campaign here with our Panzers is essentially keep them as concentrated as possible, really. A Panzer division is a truly mighty force to be, well, to reckon with. But it's not as effective when it's, like, parceled out here and there. For the records, I don't know if you know this, but headquarters that move that turn don't give support. Ah, I didn't know that, actually. See, that's something I didn't know. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Didn't know that. Cool. And so planned attack will have to do it then. We'll go with that then. So, yep, they do hold 1, 2, 7. Yep, so that is going to be a tricky one as I imagined it would be. Okay. I've still got it in for the planned attack, but we are going to need more then. So what we can do then is bring up the 6th infantry division here. Right, 8 there. Okay. So they're in much better shape. Oh, they're actually much stronger than I would have imagined here. Maybe it is right to give them the Panzer Jaegers. I'm not really going to need the Panzer Jaegers, so I'll go ahead and give them the Panzer Jaegers for now. Then I can have it drawn back in. So I'll give them Panzer Jaeger support, so you can see that goes up to 19. You can see that the armoured. Yeah, it is a strong one. I mean, the question is, it's in a tricky old position as well, isn't it? It's in a tricky position. Oh god, those are some strong divisions there. Right. Now, I do have the 162nd over here. What I'm going to do then, so if I move there, that's 13. If I move there, that's 8. does actually take some of this terrain over here. What I'm going to do then is bring the 162nd into the attack as well, and attack them from another angle. This is where I wish I'd learned more about how the actual combat works. I'd imagine being attacked from multiple directions is pretty damn good. What I'd like to do then is actually have them be the one to initiate the attacks and potentially push them towards counters. I don't want to have them push south, so pushing them north would be nice, if we can do that. So I'll go ahead and do that with the 20th Corps unit over here. I could have it move over here, but I think it'd be... I could do that, but I don't think I'd have enough... I probably would. Yeah, we probably would. So what I'm going to do then is go for a hasty attack over here. Yep, that forces them to surrender there. Okay. And I still have enough here for the attack, which is good news. So yeah, that was worthwhile doing then. It also captures this terrain over here, which is good. You can see it pushes across over here as well. So what I'm going to do then is actually bring up the 20th Corps over here. Okay. So what I can do then is I can actually have coordination between the 6th Corps over here. So we have the 162nd, the 6th Infantry Division, and the 26th Infantry Divisions there. So you can see that we do have a pretty damn good amount of attack there. That's pretty good. I mean, that's like, what, 30, 44 there? That's looking pretty good there. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure my maps is right. Never try to do maps when you're, like, recording or streaming, because you always end up, like, bugging it up. Okay. Right, we'll go ahead and attack then. So I'm going to start it like that. As you can see, we have the 162nd. So you can see that's at the top. So we'll go ahead and we'll attack. We do have 2 core support in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what support they actually have. So we do have the guns. We do have howitzers. Ooh, we have heavy howitzers. Oh, we have the 305s and the 355s. Oh, very nice. 305, 355, feeling alive. That's very nice. Then we do have the Panzer Jaegers in support. Does the unit actually have any support itself? No. It's fine. So 162nd is going to initiate the attack. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, that SOB was routed there, which is probably the best results I could have got there. The only result that would have been better would have been them actually surrendering, but that's pretty damn good there. It might have been actually better had they surrendered in a pocket, but I'm pretty glad that we routed them there. As you can see there, 164 AFVs lost. How you doing there, Van Bishop? Good to have you, my friend. But there we go, that's how we do it. As you can see that we had a lot of offensive power there. So 434 to 584, so our combat value was actually rounded up. Theirs was 40 down to 21.1. No fortifications. So it looks like the first attack had removed fortifications if they had them. I didn't actually check. I imagine the 561st Panzer Jaeger Battalion definitely helped. Okay, so we did have 26 BF-109s, we had 3 Junker 88s. The Soviet division here had no support. That's very nice there. Yeah, engineer value. Okay, cool. Well, that's how you deal with that. Surprise. Oh, okay, they can move a little bit, but only 1 hex anywhere further. I might as well go ahead and move up here 1 hex further then. Okay, there we go. Gives us a little bit more hex control over here. We do have the ability to potentially push up over here. These guys are done. What I'm going to do then is, let's see. I could potentially move there and attack that division. They still do have a good deal of, well, strength left there, really. So I'll go ahead and do that. Even if it's like a hasty attack, it's still better than nothing. So I'll go ahead. 6th Infantry Division will attack once more. Oh yeah, there we go. 29.89 to 1 burst. So definitely had it. How you doing there, Medical Gus? Good to have you, my friend. Thanks, man. It's good to be back. I have actually missed doing War of the East so much. It's been really great to actually do it like this. It's really fun like this. Okay. Right, so that's pushed us out pretty nicely there. So we do have a decent opening, very wide opening here that we can actually make use of. Panzer divisions, let's see. Yeah, we can see that they're already... Yeah, you can see how that slightly changed how they move there. What I want to go ahead and do then is deal with this over here if I can, and deal with this over here in the north. But let's see, we have the divisions over here now to make use of. Still have these divisions down here, of course. Let's see. I can't shift them forward, that's okay. Right. These guys don't have that much more maneuverability, to be honest. What it might be worthwhile doing is potentially having the Ninth Army pushed like this way as well. Make the pocket a little bit tighter. But we'll see about that. I could potentially use the 28th Division or the 8th Division to actually push against these divisions over here. If we go ahead and take a look at that, it's going to be pretty tough. Which is why we'd probably, well, 24 there, 19, 17. Those divisions are not as strong. I mean, I could potentially have them brought down to the south to potentially push those infantry divisions out of the way. But that's a pretty strong position there. Clear town. It's not so bad, but they do have decent stats there as the 85th Rifle Division. Right. These fellows actually do have more ammunition than they do. It's nice to see that actually better stockpiled. We could see I could potentially push down here for the center. That might be an option that we might take into consideration. Who do they belong to? They belong to the 7th Corps there. Which is just them, okay. Right, 7th Corps. Let's see. And try to decide, really. So we could potentially use the 7th Corps to cut these forces over here, really, and make it a smaller pocket, essentially. It would be nice to try and prevent them from moving into swampy terrain over here. There is... We could think it was like rough terrain, but actually it's not. It looks like rough terrain, but it's actually not. Which is somewhat surprising there. So it's not too bad. Grodno would be nice to take there. Okay. I mean, I could have these guys just ignore this, but you can see it does impact on their mobility. What do you guys think, Ben? Do you think we should actually go ahead and use one division here to potentially push these divisions back? It would be better to start with a stronger division, potentially. Are we already forming a pocket with the Pincers meeting just west of Minsk? Yes, we are. But there's always that potential chance that they can actually break out. It is better to try and go for a semi-realistic pocket. I mean, the thing is, it's like I have this open here, and I'll fill that later on. And the funny thing is, this is against the AI. If it was against a human opponent, yes, they would be looking for ways out of this pocket. But we'll see. We don't have to do that. But it might give us another potential option there moving. I can't avoid crossing the rivers, really. The path that we want to go, then... and the path that we want to take is, like, this way through and between the rivers. No, this is Gregory VanHouten's War in the East. I'm using it with a nice map mod. In fact, 2 nice map mods. So this is where we go into the second map mod. This is where we go into the first map mod. But this is indeed Gregory VanHouten's War in the East. We have just begun Operation Barbarossa. And it's going fairly well. Okay. I think I could probably get away with using one division to try and clear these divisions, try and push them back. But it is pretty tough there. Using one division to push the 2 Soviet divisions south and maybe disrupting a few headquarters coming nice. Yeah, I'm just thinking that if I do that with one division, it does rip a second division to be able to push on over this way. East is the way to go. That is true. That is true. I might just ignore them. It doesn't give us much mobility, but then again, I don't want to waste lives. So yeah, I think we ignore them. I think that's pretty sound advice then. We'll go with that then. It's a shame that we have our mobility reduced as much as it is, but hey, it is what it is. Right. So we'll push out with the 28th Division. Okay. So we do see the 184th Rifle Division. I don't think I have that much mobility afterwards, so it might be worthwhile going for a planned attack. But we'll see about that. Where is your core headquarters then? There we go. We can see this is nearly a full core. We have 6 out of 8. Right. Okay, there's some rough terrain. Right. That is a lot of support. Holy shit. That's a lot of support there. Yeah, planned. Well, that's what I was thinking, really. Plus, it draws on actual support from the actual headquarters. Oh, that's right. Shift and Z, is it? Or is it Control and Z? There we go. If you press Shift and Z, you get to see the command lines, which is actually significantly... It's really nice. It's significantly easy to see which divisions are which. It's actually really good to make use of. Right. So we'll go ahead then and perform the plant attack. We do have 7 detection there, which is still pretty good. Go for the plant. It pushes them to the north, 4.97 to 1. Oh yeah, very low losses there. We do have a few damaged elements, but not bad. And yeah, they have no mobility there. Fatigue, sorry, no, the experience is looking pretty good. Morale's pretty good. Having these victories does help them out. Okay. Now, it does make it easy because they're actually not on the other side of the river, which is very nice. So what I'll do then is actually have these guys. Yeah, if I go there. I am better off going here then. If I could maybe... So I do have... Oh, I can only go for the hasty attack anyway, so we'll go for the hasty. Then I'll obviously beat them. Yep, route them there. Okay. Right, so they're routed. So we do have another element here of the 7th. Right. Okay. What I could do here then is actually have a element of the 7th Corps participate in the Battle of Countess. And it would be good because it looks like it's going to push these units out of the way. But it also does allow us to actually have a division over here on the other side of the river, which should, in theory, reduce their defensive abilities. So we'll have them move to the north. Yep, they buggered off. Okay, move you there closer. Can you do a plant? No, you can only do a hasty. Okay, but I can see here that we have the 84th motorized. We have some other units in there, and we have an airfield. Airfield is completely dry. Over here, we're looking at a rifle corps, a airbase. Yeah, there's actually aircraft there. 45 SB2s. That's good, though. I'd like to get them. It might be worthwhile to try and bomb that airfield, in fact. Oh, do I not have any? Oh. Yeah, this is where manual would come in good. That's dead. That's a dead airfield. A lot of these airfields are dead, actually. Right. Maybe. Maybe. We'll have to see. It looks like there is some sort of unit there. Don't know what it is yet. Okay. So you can see that we do have more attack over here. It would likely be better to actually attack from the south end of the city. We have less attack, but we're not attacking across the river, which is worthwhile doing so. Well, worthwhile avoiding. And this is it. I can move them out that way, but we'll get more by moving to the north. I could even potentially go like over here to clear the way of these fellows over here, but I think it'd be worthwhile to try and take counters if we can with a knife army. So we'll go north. So they're part of the 20th Corps. 20th Corps being here. We still have another corps over here then to actually make use of. Right, so I'll shift them up to the north. Okay. So we actually do have a decent chunk of power there. I could potentially assign them like pioneers, because they're going to be actually moving into, attacking into a city. Do you guys think it's worthwhile attaching pioneers? We'd be going for the haste attack, attacking into a city where under the actual... Well, we're across the river, so that's good. There might actually be no... Right, you won't get... Yeah, that's true, that's true. Since you moved it, yeah. I never knew about that one. That's actually really good to know. I can't believe I never knew about that. But that's really, really useful. Genuinely useful. In fact. How does everybody else feel then? Are we in agreement? Give them the pioneers. I can agree to that. Give it a moment, just let a few more people have their say if they would like to. And okay, pioneers it is. Right, okay, they're drawn on different headquarters, so that's 5 different armies it seems. No, still 9th Army, must be just different corps, have different elements. Okay, that's fine. And we do have the Stug Battalion. Stug Battalions are nice, but I'm not going to go ahead. I mean, I could, but is it? I'd rather have like armor, concentrate as much as possible, really. So we'll give them the Pioneer Battalion. There we go. It's quite funny, actually. This is, like, completely unrelated to Slytherin and everything like that, so this is not endorsed by Slytherin, by the way. But I have actually been reading a rule set, which I'm really looking forward to playing, which is called Firefly. This is me going, like, off the rails here. I'm only going to be doing this for a second. But this is like a game, yeah, where you have like battalions and stuff like that. So I'm gonna keep that out of the way. That's what I was doing beforehand. But I love anything about battalions and stuff like that. I like seeing how the table equipments work. I like having things built up like this. I like divisional. I like large scale wargaming. This is why I like One Beast. But there you go. There's my little like off the rails sort of moment. If anybody has a copy of the rulebook, do send it to me. Right, so we have the 41st Sturm Pioneer Battalion. Yep. I love how it tells you what they have. Really love that. Okay. So we'll go for the Hasty. Is there anything else I could do potentially improve odds over here? Not tremendously, without committing something I don't want to commit. Let's take a look. So the 5th... I might have the 5th participate. Maybe we do have the 5th Division participate then. I think what I'll do then, considering that we can't really move that much further, I think what we'll do then is we'll either have the 35th or the 5th Division actually participate, and then use either the 5th or the 35th to go ahead and like clean these divisions up over here and drive them back across the river perhaps. If I do that, am I making it worse? Maybe. It would be nice to force these guys to rout or surrender, really. If we surround them, it would actually force them to rout, I do believe. If you just overwhelm them. So that's something to bear in mind. I think what we'll do then is we'll have these forces move before we use, like, either, like, the 2nd Division. What I'm going to do then is have the 5th Division participate in here then. I could have them over here, but I think it's probably better to go for like a unified hasty attack than like a planned and then hasty. Or do I actually... I've got 12. I don't think I'd have enough for like a 2nd attack. Possibly. But in fairness, the 9th Army... Where is the 9th Army gonna go? So we do have our forces over here pushing upon Minsk. Where will the 9th Army go? The 9th Army is in an interesting position, really, isn't it? The issue is if we go this way, like let's change the colour of the arrow because I like that. Go for the colour of the arrow there. Yes, if we have the 9th Army continue on this way, I mean the Panzer group is going to go this way, but will the 9th Army want to go that way? The issue is we have like lots of forests, we have lots of nasty terrain. I think really what we'd be better off doing is essentially having 9th Army probably assigned to Army Group North and have the 9th Army go in fact north. That might be a better idea. Have the Panzer group potentially join the... Is it? Oh, no, it's already part of Army Group Center, isn't it? Yeah, so we could have like this, the Panzer Group, the 3rd Panzer Group, actually combine with the other Panzer Group over here. And have them push on towards like Smolensk, land bridge. Well, this is it, but when it... Whoops, drawing arrows still. I think when it comes down to it, if we take a look at just the lay of the land, it's like, that's a lot of swamp over here. There's a lot of forest. It's one of those of where I wouldn't really benefit from having divisions of infantry as such. I mean, I would, because obviously they can continue to move, but the thing is, it's like, well, I might as well... If I'm not moving the panzers, the infantry's still marching, sure. But then I could potentially have... I mean, if we look at it like this way, maybe, we could potentially have, like... Why'd that arrow still drawn? Whoop. Yeah, we could potentially have, like, 9th Army push on towards, like, Pskov. 18th Army, you could push on towards Leningrad. 16th Army, yeah, Velki, whatever. Velkroluki. Velkroluki. I can pronounce the rest of Tolson, but I cannot pronounce any of the others. Yeah, like, potentially move on to, Velki, Velilki, however you want to pronounce it. 16th Army could move on to Pskov. I love purple, man. Then 18th Army move on to Leningrad. If the 9th goes to Pskov, that's both the 18th and 16th just for Estonia. Well, you say it's just too much, but the thing is it gets very difficult when you get to the north. What we really want to be doing then is trying to force ourselves across here. We do have a Panzer division. We'll see. But I think that's probably more effective than them just going like that way. I don't really gain anything. I'd have like the 2 Panzer groups concentrated on Smolensk alongside the additional forces there. Vitebsk. To be fair, if they're going that way, I'd have them... I mean, we're going to avoid that, essentially. This is what I want to avoid. I want to avoid, like, that area, essentially, where it's all, like, blah. If we're going to avoid that, that's fine. We're moving along clear terrain here. We're still heading in that direction. We're just doing it in a more efficient manner as such. So I don't need to... This area isn't worth conquering. There's nothing I really gain from that area. Well, this is clear terrain. We have areas of clear terrain to move through here, but I'm going to be using panzers to push through this area. We do have an actual army. I think we have, like, what, 2 armies? Or an army. We definitely have a army to push along here. But this is, like, the area where panzers rule supreme. But anyhow, we can talk about this all day. But I think that's in general we're going to go for. Whether or not things work out like that, we'll see. I think it's actually worthwhile to have... I mean, Army Group Center has a lot of power. We're going to give it a... We're going to give it the... Well, the 3rd Panzer Group over here entirely. And if I take a look over here, then we do have... 2nd Panzer Group. Yeah. So... where is the Panzer... Right, okay. So 4th Panzer Group can push on towards this area, essentially. And then head south. No, we don't have to clear out those forests, because the thing is, if we bypass it, if we cut that off, and there's nobody in it, we'll take it over automatically. And if there is somebody in it, they're gonna have, like, 1 hex, and they're gonna be just starved to death, so if they do move out to actually attack somebody, they could be cleared up by security divisions, essentially, because they'll be that weak, and... so we'll go with that, then. God damn, that was pretty long-winded for me just talking about counters. Oh, dear. Yeah, panzers are pretty insane. You take a look, they're just pretty insane. That's why I want to really, really emphasize the panzer divisions, really give them everything, everything, everything. Allow them to push on. So I'm going to take the 35th Division here. I'm going to have it join the Battle of Kaunas. Again, I'm probably butchering the names here. But that takes us to a total of 54. I want to say assault value. I'm going to say assault value because I play a lot of War Pacific, and that is what I say, which is assault value. I cannot help it. It is now part of me.